All right, you guys, let's have a little talk, shall we? So today, I stop here at the shop, right? And I guess I'm making the video because I want you to understand. I think it's so easy for people, right? Like for young kids and young men, that they get the idea that it's just so easy to make the money, right? They can work for somebody, they can look at things, and they go, man, this, they look at the bill or something and they go, this person's making all kinds of money. You know what I mean? Like, and the thing is that the one thing I would have never thought about in business is how isolated things can get to you. So for instance, you go out to do a job, right? And you can see something and you're like, oh my gosh, let's say a garage door spring, maybe, right? Garage door spring, $60, let's say. And you do the job for $300-$400. And you're like, oh my gosh, I'm making a fortune, right? And it's like, it's so easy when you go out and do the job and look at that number to go, you're rolling in dough, man. You're making bank. And the thing is you're not, because you're not thinking behind the scenes about the tires and the vehicles and the oil changes and insurance and workman's comp and paying employees, and you're all working as a network. You know what I mean? It's like you're like a V8 engine, right? And if one cylinder goes down in that V8, it's like tuck, 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 tuck. It's not running all smooth. So I just reminisce a little bit because the mail lady around here is she's getting on my nerves, let's just say. But I remember when we don't live too far from the shop. And when I moved into my new house, I remember there was somebody out there measuring the mailbox one day, and I was like, what's this guy doing? You know what I mean? Like, and no marked car or anything. I was just like, I think that's what he was doing. But the mailbox wasn't really the correct height, right? So it's like, okay, whatever. It is what it is. Well, I get a letter that, basically they're no longer going to be delivering mail. And, the thing is like, I'm a very common sense person. It wasn't like the mailbox was 2 foot short. You know what I mean? It was in like a 3 to 4 inch range of being off. And I get it, the repetitive motion and all that kind of stuff. But I wasn't real happy that they just didn't give us notice and give us like a tier. You know what I mean? Like we're going to give you a warning. Now we're going to give you a strike. And then next time we're not delivering. It was just like, nope, we're done. It's like almost like there's a new owner here. They got money. And you know what? I don't like the mailbox. So they're going to change it or comply. Or they're just not going to get mail. So the mail's getting held up, right? Or held up. And I ended up, I go get a new mailbox. I go get a new pole. I get their sheet of what their criterias are, right? And I'm doing the like sighting down the road, and I'm like measuring with tape measure, double, triple checking everything, and I finally get it up there, and for whatever reason, they're not delivering the mail, right? So the wife goes down there and it's like, hey, it's been, 3, 4, 5 days, whatever it's been. And the problem was we were in between something. I can't remember what, if it was a transition of a house, having a kid, but we had important paperwork, right? And I remember she went down there and said, hey, I'd like our mail. And they said, nope, we're not going to give it to you. And she's like, what? Excuse me? Why not? Like, because you haven't fixed your mailbox. Now, mind you, she already drove to the post office, right? To our main post office, and they got the mail there. They're holding it there. And they won't release it because the mailbox is not finished. The thing was, the mailbox has already been sitting there for whatever it was, like a day and a half, and it just hasn't been recorded that's been changed out. And it's like they won't release the mail, and it's like, it's kind of upsetting because it's like, on one aspect, I know they're the government, but it's like, that's our property. We got bills we need to pay. We got checks that are coming in. Like, give us our property. Well, luckily she said, I need to talk to the manager. And she made it happen because if it wasn't going to move, Big Papa Bear was going to come down there and he was going to raise a stink. The police were going to get called because I know I'm just a little ant in this big world, but I was going to raise a stink because I was like, look, we met the criterias. We're down here on our own time, which is, what it is. And now you won't release it to us. Anyways, I digress. So I go to the shop. I cleaned out a couple of spots just so the guys are good for tomorrow. And I closed up our gate because we don't want to have little, vandalism, Cadillac converters coming up missing, all that kind of stuff. And, I got somebody I pay that does our plowing here, and they does a good job. They do a great job. And, I look at this little thing here. It's got this icy driveway. What the heck are you talking about, an icy driveway? It's wintertime. And we're not on a major corner, you know what I mean, where it's like you got to get out otherwise you get hit. We're just on a straight road, and it says, corner gets no traction. Well, my goodness, maybe you need to get some snow tires. My goodness, do we need to get out there and salt it for you? And the thing is you want to see it. I mean, I'll show you. Let's take a look. Let's flip the old camera around. Oh, flip camera flip, please flip. All right, I'm gonna stop and flip it for you. Okay, so right here, you're looking right by the sign. This is our entrance to our driveway. Got the gate closed. Put a little salt up here by the shop. And then it's like me and my neighbor share a mailbox, right? And then bam, there's the mailbox. Now we got just a little dusting of snow. We don't have no hills. It's just a corner. You can park off the main road out there, which is all salted and dry, right? So you got to come in here, and you can spin around in any of these parking lots. You know what I mean? The neighbor keeps his plowed out real nice. Ours is plowed. You got all the room just to turn around, and I even took a swipe out of there just to be nice. And then it's like I get this stupid letter, and I'm just like, I'm like, I mean, come on, people. Oh, the post office sure has gone downhill. Oh, they call them the snail mail. I understand their jobs, but I just can't, I'd rather just say that day was a snowy condition and they couldn't do it, instead of the corner gets a little, it's like they find something to complain about almost to not do their job. And it just gripes me. And I know there's a shortage and I know this and that, but it's just like common sense is, I understand if I didn't plow next to my mailbox on the main road and they couldn't pull up to it because they're going to get stuck. But you're in a plowed parking lot. It's super clean in here. Like I said, there's no stress. You pull in here, you can eat a Twinkie. You know what I mean? And have a drink of your juice. I mean, it's no big deal. Just makes me kind of feel like America's kind of like on the down. It's like we're building a bunch of babies in this world. With all society and everything going on, just irks me. So I just wanted to share that with you. The things that you see that people don't see. Your secretary, your employees. That's what a couple of my employees do, because they're in management now, and they're starting to see why that like it's funny to see them come on board, and they're kind of like I understand, Dave. I understand. And it's like, yeah. You didn't understand before, because I always took care of things behind the scenes. But now that when the gate doesn't close and you got to fight with it, because something with the board's messed up, it's not fun. When you got to shovel in front of the driveway, and put a little salt out, it's not fun. You got to collect the mail every day, and then you get nice little letters. Those letters. So anyways, little rant for on a Sunday. But anyways, I hope you guys are doing good. Just remember, passive. Do passive. You should consider passive income. Try to do more PMs if you can in your business. Try to sell more product. Getting something passive. I don't want you to always think about, the garage door stuff is you need to use that to build your nest, build your wealth. It's a good business, but it's a good trade. It's a good trade that you can learn a lot of things, but you also have to understand that eventually, your body does wear out, and you can't do something forever. So you always got to be, climbing the food chain, which is always doing, bigger and better things. And you got to do more, just got to become smarter. You know what I mean? You got to try to do smarter things, right? Don't get naive. Don't get complacent to things that you just think it just, comes to you. You go to the restaurant and they serve you food and you're just like, oh, that's how it works. No, there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes. Anyways, hope you guys have a good day. Take care. We'll see you on the next one. Subscribe, like, dislike, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Oh, and just a little side note, just to put a little cherry on top. it's kind of funny that I get that letter. And about 3 o'clock, the first time, I don't go from my house that much, you know. My mother was nice enough to, she had a free room at a hotel. And so we ended up taking the kiddos up there. And we ended up going to the pool, you know, had a great time. Just one night. It was a free room, so, you know, got pizza, all that good stuff. And one night I'm gone. One night, the neighbor texts us, because our neighbor watches the house for us. We got good neighbors, great neighbors. Neighbor texts us, whatever, it's 3 in the morning, something like that. Says, hey, are you home? Well, I shouldn't say that. They knew we weren't home, because the wife texted him and said, hey, we're not home. Keep an eye on the place. Well, they didn't communicate back and forth real quick, you know. So later in the night, his wife, says, he says, yeah, 3 o'clock in the morning, we had somebody take out your mailbox. Takes out your mailbox. So my mailbox is destroyed. If I got a picture of it, I'll show it. May you rest in peace. You weren't even 2 years old yet. Rest your soul. But so I'm sure my mail lady is not going to approve of my fix, right? So I'm going to spin you around. We're going to take a look here. There's my fix. No, last night the guys were working, the communication guys, and my mailbox is supposed to go across the street. And see, the guy took out the pole too. It was an SUV, probably drunker than you know what. He hit, there's a little berm over here. He hit that, launched that thing. So he hit our mailbox first, which was right about somewhere in there. And then he launched it. So there's our pole. It's broke. They still got to come fix it. But the communication guy said it put down the tower. That wire's up there, run the tower for the cell phone. So he put a temporary on the ground. You probably can't see it. But anywho, I just can't wait. I think we got the same mail lady. So I can't wait for the mail lady to complain about my mailbox. And then I had to go spend, it was like $120 for this thing. You know, the pole I had, so that wasn't, but the bracket and everything. Let's take a look. But yeah, oh yeah, she ain't gonna like that. Something it's too high, it's not close enough. What am I supposed to do? You think I'm real happy that I just notched that baby out of a chunk of wood, threw a couple nails in it. What am I supposed to do? You think I'm happy at 3 o'clock in the morning? Some drunk skunk probably ran into it and launched his vehicle. They said it was so bad with that pole. They said that they had to wait for the crew to come and pull the pole off the vehicle. It was trapped. It was flipped over. I think they had like 7 emergency vehicles out here. Wish I was here to see it. Boy, I would have woke up in the middle of the night hearing that thing crash and burn. But anyways, just a little extra piece about the mailbox. And so it's like right now, it's like, don't talk to me about my mailbox. You know, you sons of biscuits. Just do your job. All right, I'll see you.